this lesson, we're going to build a jam from a small idea. I want to take you through my process of putting this fingerstyle piece together. We'll hit the high points here, and premium members will have access to additional lesson materials like a slow video tutorial on the example, downloadable tabs, and the interactive tab player from SoundSlice. But we're going to focus more on the arrangement and how the pieces fit together. And if this example seems out of reach, then I invite you to check out the Fingerstyle roadmap in the members area. The roadmap is a guide through the 60+ courses and hundreds of BGI lessons, and it's arranged to progressively build your fingerpicking skills. If you could strum a few chords, play a few tunes, but would like to get into fingerstyle acoustic, check out the roadmap included in BGI's membership. Now, let's dig into today's lesson. This little move right here from an E9. This is an E9 chord coming from, you can think of it as this E7, but we're bringing this E note up to the F sharp, which is the 9th. So this gives us an E9, and we're going to sneak this up one fret from that 7th fret up to the 8th. So the F sharp to the G, giving us an E7 sharp 9. You probably heard this called the Hendrix chord, or might have. Right? Great chord. And we're playing with that and creating a little melody here on strings 3, 2, and then finally getting our E note on the open first string. But there's definitely some funky vibes happening here. So we're bringing in the bass on beat 1, then the open first string on the end of 1, before doing our move there that we just talked about. Now, the end of this, sometimes the best thing that you can do is really nothing, and just kind of give this little thing, this little groove, some space. And that's what's happening on beat 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. But now that we're repeating this a few times, it needs something. It's got to go somewhere else, right? And I chose to go down to the open position and play with some minor pentatonic in the key of E. All right, so what happened there is I went from the open 6th string to the G, right? That's the minor 3rd, really cool sound here. Great to mix that in with our E9, E7 sharp 9 chord idea that we've got going on. This minor pentatonic sound blends really nicely. It works really well with this. Gives us that bluesy heart and attitude that we're looking for. And all I did here was try to keep things nice and simple as I worked in this riff. So it's really just playing with 4 notes. The open 6th string, and then the 3rd fret, that's the G, and then hammering from the open 4th string up to the E on the 2nd fret. And so now I want to settle into this pattern of playing one of our groove followed by something lower, right? But that needs to change. So the second time, I'll do something different. The third time as well. And here, we're going to add something a little more flashy, something fun to play. So let's take a look at it. What we did was bring on this 3rd fret of the 3rd string. Now that note, let's map out our E minor pentatonic scale from this root. So we've got our E, we've got our G, A, B, but we skipped over the B flat. If we use that, we're working with the blue note, and really we're starting to map out the E blues scale, just finishing it off there with the D and the E. Right? So slipping into that note, the B flat, gets us really into sounding bluesy here. And we worked it in place of one of these lower riffs. And all I I did was pull off from that B flat down to the A, down to the open third string, and then E, G, E. And it works really well to kind of build the flash a little bit, right? And now we want to do this one more time. I want to take this idea of groove plus lower riff for one more spin. And that'll give us a nice set of 4 of doing this before changing chords. So this feels like a really good place to build in some flash. Let's do that. All right, so we're going a little higher and playing with some open first string here just to get some nice ringing and droning going on. So we're sliding in to the B, doing this very classic move, sliding back down from the B to the A to the open G. That gets us up to the chord change where we move to A7. And if you check out the performance example again, you'll hear that we kept the groove alive and well. We didn't do this, right? But we did bring that sort of vibe along to A7. And then we worked in some licks that sound really nice over our A7 chord. Now we're unpacking each and every note of these chords and the licks and everything in the extended cut for members only. But the real point of this lesson right here is to think about how you can take a small piece of an idea and move it through chord changes and build yourself a nice little jam. I really started from a small little nugget, really just this. And it's less about, can you play this funky groove, right? It's more about, see how this was just the seed that I needed to work through an arrangement, one that I had fun putting together for you. And I hope that seeing how I put it together and hearing a few tips along the way and what I was thinking might help you to take your jams and take them and move them into entire arrangements that go places, that do things. If you learned something from this lesson, please give the video a thumbs up and subscribe to the YouTube channel. And if you want to go deeper and grab additional lesson materials like the tabs, the slow pace tutorial, join BGI at the link right over here. I hope to see you inside my BGI. Until then, practice smart and play on.